Okay, guys. I've been in my room for about 6 days now, surviving off of only goldfish. But I finally cracked the code. Actually, there was no code involved. I just used logical thinking and reasoning and everything that I've learned from history. If you saw my video about everything I learned in history, that's when my epiphany came to me, alright? The truth about the Illuminati, okay? Now, everybody knows that the Illuminati was founded in 1776, right? If you don't know that, go to school, alright? And everyone knows Benjamin Franklin was a Freemason. But everyone also knows that Freemasons and the Illuminati are just the same thing, actually. Freemasons was just to not scare people, because the word Illuminati can be a little scary to people. Alright? Now, Ben Franklin became the president, not George Washington. But people, the people elected George Washington, not Ben Franklin. But Ben Franklin was actually in power. George Washington was just kind of to cover things up. And Thomas Jefferson... Wait, no, I'm talking about Ben Franklin here. Ben Franklin was presidents 1 to whatever Herbert Hoover was. Okay? Now, you might be saying, that doesn't make any sense. That's almost like, that's way too long for anyone to be alive. But the thing you don't know is, in the Illuminati, that's where they teach you the secrets to living longer lives. Okay? Now, he actually started the Civil War, alright? His whole plan was to divide the country so that later on, Germany would have a better chance of being able to take over the world, because he knew America was going to become a big superpower. And now you might be wondering, why didn't we just go along with Germany? Why do we have to fight him in the first place? Well, most people in America don't support Nazis. So he had to make it look like we were going to lose a war against Germany, but not really. So that's Abraham Lincoln right there. So he was basically trying to, tear the country apart with a civil war by trying to free the slaves, and he knew the South wouldn't be happy with that, and they would succeed, and he was going to tell them to go fight in the South, where he knew they weren't going to win. But then Ulysses S. Grant had to go and mess it up for him. Alright? So his first plan to make America weak enough didn't work. But then, when he became Herbert Hoover, well, he didn't become Herbert Hoover. That's just his model, alright? The guy who took the pictures, run the election, Anywho, his plan was to create a depression, because Germany was about ready to start taking over the world. It was their time they were ready now. So yeah, he started the depression, and America wouldn't have been able to defeat Germany, but then old Ben Franklin had to go and die. Alright? Just at the wrong time, because FDR became president. He got him out of the depression and made him able to defeat Germany. Now, Germany didn't have a lot of money. Look, there's Ben Franklin right there. They didn't have a lot of money because of World War I. And so, what was his plan? Charlie Chaplin. Now, Charlie Chaplin is actually just Adolf Hitler. Alright? Same dude. Alright? They're the same dude. And Adolf Hitler's plan the whole time was to make these movies and make money so they could be able to fight a war, so they could get an army and stuff, because they didn't right after World War One. I mean, just look at this. He's obviously admitting he was Hitler. So, and also the thing was he would make people be okay with Hitler taking over the world if Hitler looked just like the funny guy from those movies. Alright, now, also in Germany in the 20s, they started German Expressionism film, which were very different films at the time, and they were very popular. That's Cabinet Dr. Caligari, we'll go back here, Nosferatu, and Metropolis. Alright? And don't mind that baby, alright? It's actually Illuminati baby. What are you doing? Don't control my mind. Alright. Now, Walt Disney was actually the cousin of Adolf Hitler and one of the biggest leaders of the Illuminati. I mean, tell me that they don't look like they're in the same family. Okay? Now, there's even more proof with this, because Hitler, I guess, was once asked by someone what his favorite movie was, and his answer was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Why would a dictator trying to take over the world, why would his favorite movie be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Shh, baby. Okay, now. The Nazis. Now, I can prove to you that the Nazis and Adolf Hitler were actually just the Illuminati. Because if you look back in history, okay, you go to the northern southwest part of ancient Egypt, the reformed, revised Egyptian Swahili mixed language, the word Nazi means Illuminati. Alright? And look at that triangle right there, okay? So now, Hitler used his mind control powers to take over in Germany and start World War II and start to try and take over the world. And it was going pretty good for a while. Now, the Holocaust. They weren't just killing Jews just to kill Jews. They were actually people that knew of the Illuminati and tried to destroy the Illuminati. So, they weren't just Jews. They were Jews, actually. They, because in the Jewish religion, they were taught about the Illuminati as kind of a warning, alright? Now, the whole plan was to make America not be able to defeat the Germans, which actually worked semi-well, but they really should have focused on Russia. That's what they should have done. So now, Hitler is dead. Benjamin Franklin is dead. The two biggest leaders are dead. So now, who's left to run the Illuminati? Walt Disney and his son, which you might not know this. It's not in any history book. Steven Spielberg. Alright, now I can prove to you Steven Spielberg is an Illuminati member. First off, he made Jurassic Park, which, as we all know, dinosaur bones are not real, and, I mean, just look at that. Look how fake that is. Dinosaurs were just a thing made up by the Illuminati, alright? And so he made Jurassic Park to make people believe in dinosaur bones even more. Second off, he made Schindler's List. We just talked about the Holocaust. You might be thinking the Schindler's List was made and portrayed the Holocaust in a negative way, but really it was supposed to be made as a comedy, and most people just don't see it that way. Because there's Nazis all over in the movie, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So there's Nazis in the movie, which I'll explain, And Hitler's third cousin, Amon Goth, who was one of the main characters in the movie, Steven Spielberg said, I think, that was his favorite character. And then he made Saving Private Ryan, which we all know has Nazis in it. And then he made, before that he made the Indiana Jones movies, which are just crawling with Nazis. And look, there's even Hitler in the third one. Now why does he have so many Nazis in the movie? So he can make people, like how Hitler did with Charlie Chaplin, think that Nazis are okay. Now, the way I can also prove he's an Illuminati, because we already know for a fact that Walt Disney is in the Illuminati, and he is one of the biggest leaders. Lucasfilms produced the Indiana Jones movies, and they're producing Indiana Jones 5, which is owned by Disney, and The Big Friendly Giant, which was made by Disney, directed by Steven Spielberg. He's working with them. Now, Disney owns Marvel, Lucasfilms, ESPN, ABC, and Pixar. And these make tons and tons of money. You know why they need all that money? I'll tell you in a second. But also, they have all these companies because those are some of the most watched things on the planet, and they're using it to control your mind, to push anything they want you to believe. For example, feminism. They actually, Walt Disney invented feminism. And just take a look at his recent movies. The Big Friendly Giant, female lead, and Star Wars. Both the last two Star Wars movies, the only ones made by Disney, the lead is female. Alright? Why? What? But none of the other Star Wars movies have ever had a female lead. Also look at Moana, Zootopia, Beauty and the Beast, all the other old classic ones, all the princess ones, Pocahontas, Mulan. All these movies have female leads. Now, why would they do that? Because of Hillary Clinton. They're trying to get Hillary Clinton elected president, which of course failed this year, but she will never die, and she will run for president until we were all dead. Actually, long after that. Once she is in power, she will use all the money that Disney has made and Steven Spielberg have made to make a super weapon and destroy Russia. And then they will invade the rest of the world. Okay? So, I'm asking you people, don't go see Disney movies. That includes Marvel movies. Don't see any Steven Spielberg movies. And make sure Hillary does not become president in the next election. I will take Kanye West over that, because at least we won't do good, but we won't all be taken over by the Illuminati. Now, don't think about anything I said too hard, because that will create the Illuminati given an easy pathway into your mind. You can always make a tinfoil hat. They're cheap and good, but that won't completely stop them. So just remember these things, and have a beautiful day.